Hello and welcome to the RD2L Master Season 1. We are here in the Premier Division, the best division that we have. It is Black Ice Esports versus the Portland Burnsiders, and with me here to break it all down, to bring you the action and look at the bright side of life, it is Mr. Brightside himself. Hello there.
We're trying our best to look on the bright side, of course.
We're trying our best. It is hard at times. It is hard. Now we see a first pick Tusk.
So, we've got quite the matchup here. Tusk first pick. Not really a hero you see in the first pick role.
Yeah.
Most
especially
of the
there's
time.
still a Tiny available. There's Undying. There's
Well-
a Faceless Void. Okay.
Say what you will about Tiny and those heroes. I think Tusk is debatably a better version of what Tiny is right now because he has a much higher early to mid game impact, whereas Tiny's is essentially just a toss. So Tusk is better at securing early lanes and early advantages, whereas Tiny kind of needs a little bit of space from his team.
Yeah. Now for the Portland Burnsiders, they're gonna open up with a Faceless Void Magnus combo. Black Ice Esports, they have a Venomancer, which is very nice against the Faceless Void in lane. But it is a Void which will be empowered. How are we thinking about those two openings from these two teams?
Well, having played the Burnsiders a decent amount, I very much saw this coming. If they're given the Mag Void, they're pretty much going to take it every single time. So it seems like Black Ice pretty much guaranteed knew that this was coming. Both Mag and Void don't really like playing versus Veno. Veno is one of the better heroes in terms of taking over the lane. So you kick the Void out of lane early, you pressure his tower, and you make it really hard for him to get into fights. You know, finding that proper engagement through all the slows and plague wards and whatnot is really, really freaking annoying. But Mag Void, you know, of all heroes to get kicked out of lane, Void's not too unhappy because he has Empower. He goes early Mask of Madness, hits the jungle. So hopefully looking to see here from Black Ice heroes that can invade the Void's jungle early, look to put pressure on the map.
And that is, but I mean, like, that's also where the Tusk already, like, fits a little bit better than what we just talked about with the Tiny, like you mentioned early, doesn't really offer much. Meanwhile, Tusk can be better at invading into the jungle without a Blink Dagger. He offers some damage with that tag team, the Walrus Punch, all of that. Now through the bans here, we see Black Ice Esports, they ban out the Leshrac, Viper, and Lina. Especially the Viper ban makes me kind of think, are they looking for a Spectre?
I think Spectre seems to make a lot of sense here, actually getting through the bans. It's interesting to see from the Burnsiders because generally speaking, PA and Sven are considered poor matchups versus Void because the Void itemizes aggressively and you just kind of die in chrono, as well as he doesn't die in the first set of burst. So it's interesting to see that they choose to not ban Spectre because now with this Wind Ranger coming out, it's a lower, I guess it's a pseudo tempo like pressure hero, but Spectre doesn't really mind laning versus
And
versus
they're gonna
Wind.
build a Blade Mail against the Wind, like anyway, so it's good against the Wind Ranger for Spectre. They're gonna go for a Bane.
This is a forgotten hero.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of heroes, early tempo heroes that can invade jungle, Bane is probably on the short list of heroes that loves doing it. Especially if they pick a self-dependent or like a self or an independent carry. self-dependent is, I guess, the same thing. Anyways, if they pick an independent carry here, such as Spectre, who can kind of play for their own game, Bane, Tusk now can run anywhere on the map together and put pressure.
You know what would be the self-dependent hero? Arc Warden, because he depends on himself.
Okay, that's actually true. Excellent point.
Yes. So interrupted there. A very single. I don't know. Like Bane, like he always like he's a great laner, and he has great single target lockdown.
Yeah, in terms of here, it functions very similarly as like Wyvern would against Faceless Void, where it gives you a reliable BKB disable to deal with this Void jumping in. The only issue right now is that in terms of lane matchups, the Bane Mirana, or not Bane Mirana, the Bane Wind matchup is, I'd say, relatively wind favored. I think Burnsiders pick an offlaner that can like assist on trades, so he can provide like some sort of nuke or like, you know, a slow or something, and then the Bane is really sad. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also very tanky.
It's also just it's unplayable for Bane in particular because you can never grip the Tide Hunter. You see this watermelon man and you're like, oh, well, okay. Hey, what's up? Just how you give him the smile and wave treatment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave. They don't know. They don't know. So, and also that gives them even more team fight. Like right now, Black Eyes Esports, they have that great single target, but Portland Burnsiders, the team fights, you have RP, you have Ravage. And now there is Haunt for Black Eyes Esports. Even more canceling of Blink Daggers. Blink Daggers are gonna be easily cancelled by anybody on the Radiant side.
We're kind of looking at the tale of two different playstyles for how this game's gonna look right now. Because right now, Portland Burnsiders, like you said, RP, Ravage, Chrono, very team fight oriented. Whereas Black Ice Esports, they're very independent. That's the wrong word. They're just very pickoff based. There it is. Tusk wants to run around, find pickoffs. Bane wants to find pickoffs with grip. You can bring Spectre to any pickoff as well. So I guess the question's really going to be if Burnsiders can find the team fights or not. And right now, it's hard versus Veno. Especially when you have Spectre, because they naturally complement each other. So Spectre wants to, jungle, play really passive game, play. Veno, the best tower defender in the game, debatably, as well as he can provide this vision advantage that will counteract this like team fight style that Portland's going for right now.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried for like the pick-off potential for Radiant, because right now, like you mentioned, like Tidehunter, you can't grip him, you can't really control him, like unless he oversteps like far too far, he's most likely gonna get away. Wind Ranger has Wind Run, you can maybe catch her with the grip. Magnus has Skewer, Faces Void has Time Walk. Like right now on Portland Burnsiders, they have great mobility to, like if they like catch wind of the like potential gank, they could get out rather easy.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. There's no lockdown really on
Yeah.
You
like
can
this grip, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and if you're solely relying on grip, it's very easy to have any sort of disable.
Yeah. Like there's Shackle to play around. Like even Magnus, like right now we're seeing this most likely as a Magnus position 5, I assume. Like he could just RP to cancel grip, and I believe that would be worth it, because Black Eyes Esports, they don't really have anything else.
Yeah, pretty much. They're in a weird spot right now because they need a. I think they need another hero that can enable pickoffs, like a high damage hero that Tusk and Bane can play with. Something like Ember could be okay. Void Ember, the spirits make a lot of sense right now in my head. They give lockdown high damage. Because really right now you're playing around your Tusk and your Bane, pressuring early, but eventually those two won't. Those two need a hero to play with. Like they need like that +1 damage dealer that will scale. I guess Batrider could have maybe been good. Batrider and Doombands from Portland.
Yeah,
Do they think it's? Surely it's safe lane Veno. I mean, not safe. Surely it's off lane Veno. So probably looking at a mid here.
Ooh. An OD.
Interesting. So that explains the Quat ban. Not really a hero we see a whole lot, but that lane's pretty miserable for OD. I have mixed opinions on this hero. It does offer them another save for the Void. So they have Snowball save, they have double Astral. And when you're you look at Burnsiders have to all in for fights, right? They have to all commit. And if they don't get to this OD, their all-in spell committals are just wasted because of Astral. So
I'm a little bit worried it might be very, very greedy, and there is a Pugna. Oh.
No, you're 100% right. It's very slow. Before this Pugna picked, I actually thought it was kind of nice because nobody on Dire forces the tempo. But now this Pugna, now this Pugna comes out and it's like, oh, how do we actually defend our towers? It's just Veno. So if this Veno gets caught by these spells, and if they don't get the Astral off, or he gets bursted before he can save them, it's really hard for OD to properly function. Not to mention, he's trying to play into Ravage, so if the Tidehunter's like on top of the target, to secure the kills, OD can't really get in range because of that. Yeah, I really like this Pugna pick, I have to say. It's a fantastic decrep game.
Yeah,
they're very low burst on the Radiant. Like the sustain battle that Aaron will be able to play on this Pugna is really, really nice. As well as the chip on towers, right? Against Veno, you don't necessarily want to all in for towers. You can just chip away at the tower. If you can't really do anything about you nether blasting his tower from 800 units.
Yeah. I'm still a little bit like this OD. I feel like it's like some way of a way to solve to killing this Tidehunter.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If OD is allowed to play past 20 minutes, I think it's a fantastic OD game. You offer the double savers. Chrono already talked about it. You're a Tidehunter killer, as well as you kill all of these heroes outside of Pugna. I guess Wind doesn't really die either, but they don't have a lot of reliable backline breach on the side of the Burnsiders. It's very much so, we're gonna present our bodies in front of you and force your tower with Pugna. Come stop us.
Yeah. And here we are now, game 1 of this best of 2 series between Portland Burnsiders on the Dire side versus Black Ice Esports on the Radiant. We're starting off with a little NA pause here. Aaron just needs a little break. He says, I'm playing the Pugna, but I just need a minute. I'm a big fan of Underrated Genius playing a Bane. I think that's a great name to playing a Bane.
What's his name?
Underrated genius.
Oh yeah. Classic. That is a great name. You're right.
That is so looking at these two drafts, like you mentioned, two very different playstyles. Still though, like both teams have some big cooldowns that they have to play around with. Like Radiant, they have the Haunt. Dire, there's Chronosphere, RP, Ravage. And there's also Scientist Eclipse, of course, for the Radiant. Would you give you would give the favor to Portland Burnsiders in this game one from the draft?
Yeah, I'd say they have a slight advantage. I do think that this Veno is in line for a great game though right now. If he gets a good lane, pressures Void out of lane, is able to get 1 or 2 early sustain items. If this Veno can get to the point where the Dire has to go on him and can't kill him reliably, I think it could be very, very scary. Because they have to get past the Veno. He's the front line of defense for these towers. So if they can kill the Veno, that opens up the entire back lines in the OD. So I guess the long answer is short. Long answer short. Yes, I favor Burnsiders.
Looking at the lanes, so we were I think like this Tusk, Veno, like you mentioned, they can have an absolutely fantastic start. Meanwhile, on the Dire side, we're gonna have the Windranger, Tidehunter. Are they gonna be able to pressure out a Spectre out of lane? Like, I feel like that's a harder job than what Tusk and Veno have against.
I don't think they will. What build did he start with? Yeah, so he goes for the ringer. I'm surprised he didn't go double ring and then stick. Because I think they're very chip oriented in this bottom lane on Tide Wind. They kind of, they click you, chuck spells at you. And then they all in commit when you're like half HP or a little less than that. So if Mirage, hopefully Mirage gets like a couple, like one or two early sustain items, like a couple salves, a wand, and it'll be pretty hard for them to force Spectre completely out of lane, especially with the Bane impact, because Bane's just going to be running at them in this lane more or less. Providing the ever annoying factor.
Another thing that I was just thinking about, like we see from the Portland Burnsiders, they have that position 5 Magnus, which of course, like the longer the game goes, the more the more empower you've had on your carry and the more KU has been able to farm on the Faceless Void. But he is gonna go up against a Spectre and an OD, which both in the late game can absolutely wreak havoc. We might be a little bit early talking about late game here, but just like from purely a draft perspective, if it goes even to like 30 minutes, how would you feel then about Black Ice Esports?
I really like Black Ice's Esports. If they can make it past the first 15 to 20 minutes of this game, they're very chip oriented. Like they seem very well equipped to deal with the Faceless Void. That's for sure. And that's where a lot of the end game damage is going to be coming from, right? At the end of the day, for Burnsiders, you have Mag Void. That's your win condition.
Yeah.
So, the fact that I look at this game and I'm like, man, Void's gonna have trouble killing heroes at a certain point. Especially, as a large part of this OD pick, it leaves me a little concerned.
I'm still waiting here. Oh, Aaron just now reconnected. I was just gonna ask you if we want to look at some cosmetics here, but we are ready to get this game on our way here. Game 1. We are unpausing now. And on the Radiant side, it is gonna be Black Ice Esports with Underrated Genius on the Bane. Dado or Dado, I'm not sure.
I think it's Dato.
Dato. Okay, Dato on the Venomancer. Then we have Steel Borko on the Tusk. Going mid will be Romjek.
Rom
on
JK is how we generally.
Rom JK on
Yeah,
the OD.
just ignore the 3. I think it's Rom Jack, if you wanted to say that, I believe is also what I've heard.
And
I've
into
always
the
said
s-
Rom JK.
and into the safe lane, it will be Mirage on the Spectre. Who do we have on the Dire for the Portland Burnsiders?
So for the Burnsiders in the bottom lane, we have Notorious on the Wind Ranger, Pos 4, Vinny will be on the off lane Tidehunter, Aaron will be on the mid Pugna, and top lane we have League of Legends, yikes, on the 5 Magnus with KU on the carry Faceless Void. So looking at, yeah, you can kind of see, if you look at the Dire's offlane items, Notorious has the Blightstone, Vinny's got the Orb of Venom. They're gonna look to play very aggressive early in this lane. Leaves me a little concerned. I guess Bane started top, but leaves me a little concerned for this bottom lane because I think if they get off to a good start on Dire, it's a really hard lane for Spectre to recover into.
And that's also like the Spectre doesn't have a mechanic like the Empower from Magnus on his team. If the Spectre gets shut down early, it might be all on this OD to carry it through till the Spectre has farm. However, like that's also what Bane is for. Bane, a great laner, of course, and he is an underrated genius.
I don't see a lot of this hero, so I'm very curious to see what his impact is. But he might be dead, which is what I was concerned about.
He's gonna get run at. That's gonna be the power shot. It will not be enough damage to bring him down. He has a salve, and he's just gonna come right on out.
Yeah. Yep, has the salve. And this was really nicely done from Burnsiders because they don't miss any creeps for this. So the lane's effectively going to be static at like this tree line here, which is very nice for them. But we do see some aggro trading here. He actually
Notorious getting very low here. 3 seconds until brain sap.
He's got gush.
There, and now the power shot coming through, and underrated genius is gonna go for another brain sap. Notorious is gonna be salving up.
Fairy fire.
A fairy fire, is it gonna be enough? He's gonna try to go under his tower. The power shot. Oh no, no more. He has a power shot, and he hits it.
What a gamer. Yeah, Notorious loves this Pos 4 Wind Ranger. It's like this hero, Lena and Rubik. He's just really freaking good at them.
He's pretty notorious on them.
Wow. Yes, exactly. That was terrible. But yes. So the bot lane already off to a great start. As you can see, right, this lane has reset under the tower essentially for Vinny. So yes, he may have missed some early CS because of the aggro, but now he's like, Spectre hates being up here. He's like, oh, I'm just 1v1ing a Tide. That's, as a melee hero, that's absolutely miserable.
And he got like all of that experience for himself pretty much. Of course, a great start for them.
So, did he get the... okay, yeah. Oh no, Notorious actually got the pull off.
There's gonna be the Nightmare, which with the ghost form from Dire Tide looks very weird on the Tidehunter.
I actually forgot. I actually kind of forgot. Nightmare is actually... So while Fiend Script is really bad versus Tidehunter, Nightmare is very good.
Oh yeah.
You just Nightmare him for like 8 seconds and just ignore him. So it is quite nice actually.
And now just gonna be some right click onto Wind Ranger. Notorious, he doesn't have Wind Run.
Wait,
I believe
he
is dead. That's gonna be a... Doesn't even need the brain sap. It's not in range quite yet. Notorious gonna go for the TP. Oh, it will not be enough damage. He will survive, but he's out of lane now.
That kind of exchange is really worth it as a 4 though, because the whole time this is happening, your offlaner is just free farming essentially under the tower. Especially when you have a favorable 1-to-1 matchup, such as Tide versus a melee hero, you're completely okay with this kind of stuff. So, all right, looking away from bottom, we've been talking about it for 3 minutes straight.
Let's go into the mid lane for now. So we have this OD versus Pugna, which OD right now, a little bit ahead of the Pugna. I'm surprised. I thought Pugna is very, very good against the OD, even in lane.
I'm not entirely sure about. I think it's really hard for OD once the OD is, or once the Pugna's 6. Before that, though, it's just both heroes just shoving the lanes into each other.
And
He also, sorry, I do like Rom JK's build a lot. He goes for 1 bracer, 1 null with a wand, so very, very tanky on this OD. Already sitting at 1,000 HP.
Oh, down bottom, they're trying to go onto Mirage here. There is another power shot available, but... Oh, he's gonna self up now, Notorious. Can you cancel it? Nah, not gonna attempt for it.
Underrated Genius has done a really nice job of this lane. And it can't be
up
over
top, they're going onto KU. That's gonna be the snowball forward, but the skewer away from Kobe, also known as League of Legends. But the ice shards, they're connecting onto KU and they find the kill onto the Faceless Void. Now also, they're gonna go forward here for the Magnus as well. He doesn't have anything. Now with the Gale coming out, Steel even asking for the high 5 is not gonna get it. At the same time, down bottom, they will take out the Bane.
Yeah, but your Spectre isn't dying. He's still farming. So definitely a great trade for Black Ice. And this is the scary part about playing. This is like the point of the game where Void, like, you're not sure if you can be in lane anymore. Because if you get Galed and hit by a Poison Sting, yes, you can jump away, but Tusk is the best gap closer in Dota at this point, in the early to mid game at least. So he's very, very capable of just chasing KU.
Yeah. And Venomancer, he now has the Urn of Shadows already complete, so even more damage over time, which is what Faceless Void of course struggles with, because Time Walk is only good against burst damage.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard build as well. Gives you some armor, movement speed, and mana regen, I believe. Let me double check the Urn recipe. Yeah. No movement speed, sorry. Armor, mana regen, and HP regen, obviously, if you get kills, right? So kind of everything that Benno wants.
Yeah.
So very nice. Pick up on that. And I guess despite that, though, Burnsiders still have a 1k gold lead, as I think most of... Where's that coming from?
Just a little bit from the support here. They're going on to Underrated Genius here. The power shot coming through. Aaron even going here. Now the snowball. They're going for the Vinny here. They have the shards now. OD also making the rotation. He cannot save the Tusk though. Now there's gonna be the Shackle Shot connecting onto the OD. The Sandy's Eclipse is just gonna get dropped, and that's Tidehunter is going to fall. A 2-for... Wait, no, Bane didn't even die, so a 1-for-1 trade. Both mids rotating. Oh, there's a banishment, and OD, he has to walk away. Aaron, like now
I really like this move from Aaron. You can't necessarily force the OD out of mid, but you can definitely force the Spectre out of bottom. Yep.
You forced her all the way back to base.
Can force him into the grave, actually.
Yeah. Mirage was not expecting that burst damage, and neither was I. I was like, oh, this is some good harass. Oh wait, he's dead.
It's yeah, he's dead. So that's Spectre dying once. And like I said, your Void doesn't hate getting shoved out of lane at this point. He's got Empower, he's got Morbid Mask, right? He will catch up into this game much faster than a Spectre will, that's for sure.
Tusk making the rotation now bottom, but Vinny, they go with the Ice Shard, so they have enough damage. He gets the Anchor Smash off and he will be fine. And Notorious now looking to go a little bit forward. Has the Medallion finished, so more minus armor. Oh, they're going onto the Spectre once again. The Shackle Shot connects, and with that, Mirage is dead once again. Doesn't have a TP when he comes back into lane. Or like back into life. I can't understate or overstate how great of a move this was from Aaron. It feels generally the common rule for Pugna is I'm not gonna leave until I get the mid tier 1. But he immediately noticed in this game that he's not gonna get the mid tier 1 at a great rate.
So he just walks bottom. He's got level 7, right? Max Nether Blast. He's got ulti. Like, he's got everything he needs. And they can't do anything to him if he goes bottom. Spectre has to run. So he just guarantees this bottom tier 1 by just staying down here for as long as he has.
Yeah.
As well as, 2 kills onto the Spectre, right? Like, it's just fantastic movement so far.
Yes, at the same time, Venomancer, he did a similar thing top. He just took out the tier 1 tower as well, mostly by himself because he has Plague Wards. That keeps himself company. But still, though, Mirage is the big, hate to say it, loser of this laning stage so far. Because like those 2 deaths, very, very crucial to his game. He has the Blade Mail finished, looking to recover that way.
Yep, so both carries have some form of, farming jungle and recovering. It's just Empower Mask of Madness is just better. Yep. And you can see KU, if you look in the jungle, they've got some stacks already prepared for him. That Burnsiders do, especially League of Legends on this Magnus, he always gets stacks done. And it's very, very annoying to play against because they don't have great heroes of contesting these stacks on the side of Black Ice.
Now, Radiant, I like that Radiant is not just playing passive, despite like I feel like very often when your safe laner just died 2 times, he's like, okay, let's just stop all fighting and I just farm. But no, they place Venomancer now in mid and they want to try to make a go for this tier 1 tower, together with the supports here. Meanwhile, Spectre is just farming in the jungle, keep him safe and secure there, till they grow into big Spectre.
Yeah, this was kind of what this game would inevitably lead to, was Veno camped mid, with everybody else kind of playing around him. This hero's kind of like a vacuum right now. He's got max Plague Wards and a Spirit Vessel, so 1400 HP. It's very hard for him to die, especially when they have to go through Plague Wards. So yeah. He's doing his job, that's for sure, on this Veno, just sitting here. And interesting from Vinny, I want to point out, you're playing against Veno OD, although top Chrono.
Sorry, they're going for the Chrono Spear straight onto the OD, and with that they're gonna get the kill.
Guess that's what you're gonna talk about, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Whoops.
So yeah. They get a big kill onto the OD. He is gonna go straight Aghanim Scepter. But yeah, what did you want to say about Vinny?
I was just saying he's not going for a pipe rush. He's got Vlad's instead, so going for more of a his own
finds a Tusk here. Oh. He has to snowball away, and he snowballed to the range creep there.
Yeah, nice snowball. Yeah, they use the Chrono. They get a kill. But now there's no Chrono here, so they're gonna look to start to push their small advantage here.
It's gonna be a Ravage straight onto the OD together with the Shackle Shot. Now the Haunt is gonna come through. The RP connects only onto the Venomancer. Now they're coming in with the Poison Nova. They're dealing a lot of damage, but they've already lost their 2 other cores. The Fiend Script connects onto the Pugna, and Dire Death slowly and surely dying. Mirage is picking up all of this experience. Now has to walk away. KU is here. The bash straight onto the Tusky. They will get the Bane. KU, is he gonna look for more? Oh, that could have turned out much worse for the Burnsiders. But KU coming in there clutch at the end.
Looked like they're gonna team wipe, but KU with a great read that he could actually join this fight later with the empowering. Cleans up a couple of kills for them, so not all was lost there in that engagement.
However, still they're going for Aaron. He has to Decrepify. There's going to be the Snowball. And now they're going to go for him. The Walrus Punch. Do they have enough damage for him? He is still alive. He's going to have another Decrepify, and he will life drain the life out of that Tusk.
Oh, that's less than ideal. I think Black Ice could have probably just taken this tower with their numbers, because there's no Ravage, there's no Chrono, there's no RP. So I think they could have just probably brought 3 or 4 heroes and gotten the tower. But they opt to just play a little bit more passive. And it feels really bad, right? Because now you're playing a passive, you're choosing a passive approach into a team that's naturally going to outfarm you.
Yeah. And also, like, Chronosphere is gonna be up right now. He's looking for this OD. Okay, OD is gonna back off. Not gonna be the same thing happening as before. He's learned his lesson.
At the end of the day, we did see, I was talking about how there was no pipe on Tide, right? That definitely played a pretty large factor in the Dato doing so much damage in that engagement.
The other thing was the OD did not really get any spells off. If OD gets a Sandy's Eclipse off in that fight, I'm scared for Portland Burnsiders.
Yeah, I mean, Burnsiders did a really nice job, though, of that when you play against OD, you have to. Like, you have to make sure you get to him. Otherwise, you're generally not going to win the fight. They did such a nice job making sure they just all-in commit on him with the Ravage. So now we're looking at a 4K gold lead, right? You can see this Void is a very happy camper.
Uh-oh, OD finds Notorious here. Notorious has to walk away, but nothing else happening. Mirage looking for the Manta style. It's getting close to the Yasha. But of course, the Faceless Void, #1 in net worth. KU looking for the SNY.
Oh, Ram JK. Okay, he's not gonna be greedy. Whew. Thought he might be greedy. He can die to these two supports too, which is really scary. If he gets caught by a shackle with the focus fire and an RP, he will die.
He's looking to go onto Notorious. Notorious gets the wind run away.
But he's really close to this Ags. So the game's essentially about to start. As what happened is the 2K. They just lost a 2K gold, like 2K of their gold lead in a half second.
They are gonna go for the Chronosphere straight onto the two supports. Now OD is still here. It's gonna get shackle shot though, and now they will have the Bane. They will have the RP for the OD, and
I'm just confused. He had
the 2K lead back.
He was like one creep from Ags and then he died.
It's the saddest point.
That is really, really, really hard to look at. So yeah, OD dying again. You can see his struggle in this game. If he gets caught by these teamfight spells, he will just die. It has to be the Veno that's eating the brunt of the spells. And if it's anybody else, then the fight's over. It's really rough right now. But Dato, he does a really nice job. He punishes their movement top. He gets the mid tier 1. So at the end of the day, yes, the Burnsiders have a gold lead, but the Radiant actually has the better tower advantage.
And well, the OD now has the Aghanim Scepter, so now with the 2 charges of the Astral Imprisonment, as well as additional attack range, right?
Yeah, it's not attack range; it's astral range.
Oh, astral range, yeah.
It makes it like of your full screen essentially. It's really this is why the hero is considered good versus as a save hero, because you can buy this Ags, gives you 2 very, very long distance astrals. And you can see the reason he died in that last fight was because he had to walk so close to his teammate trying to save them. That will no longer be the case.
I would like for Radiant to make a move now that they know that Chronosphere is still down. It is only 40 more seconds. Maybe it's a little bit too close to comfort.
It's really awkward. It's really hard though. How do they get into the jungle at this point? They're still Ravage.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Any engagement you force, you're still gonna be at a teamfight disadvantage with just the Tidehunter. So you have to be very, very cautious about what you can force.
I feel like very similar for Portland Burnsiders. Right now it feels like both teams just like staying on their side of the map, a little bit of like Cold War kind of style, where both are like just trying to force the other team to a mistake.
Yeah, it feels really awkward for Burnsiders, mostly because they have this Pugna hero. And so they have this hero that wants to pressure towers and play like a high tempo style of game, and now they're just resorting to this farm style.
Notorious is getting close to his MKB after the medallion and the full one. Tusk, meanwhile, also getting to a blink dagger pretty soon. They're looking like they want to smoke here for the Portland Burnsiders. Yeah, there's the 4-man smoke.
They've got Chrono again, so this is kind of just this is what's been dictating all of their moves so far, as it should be.
And the smoke is gonna break from the Tusk. Steel is gonna get focus fired. He is gonna break the smoke. He's gonna waste some of their time. And
that's a good play from Steel Borko. He's just playing on this high ground. Sometimes the best thing you can do is in a game of Dota is defend your cores. He breaks the smoke, eats the gank. And Spectre still farming. All 3 of the cores for the Radiant still farming. So it really is just the Void at the top. And then he's followed pretty closely by the next 3 of Radiant.
And as you alluded to at the beginning of the game, like if Radiant is able to make it to like 30 minutes or so, like you have an OD and a Spectre against one faceless Void mostly.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of the Tidehunter here. They want to go. They commit the Ravage straight onto the OD here. Now the save with the Astral Imprisonment, and now the Haunt coming through. Can they continue further on this side? And yeah, they already found the Pugna here. I completely missed that. Now the Nightmare also onto the Faceless Void. The Banishment onto the Tidehunter. Tidehunter, he's just in the midst of it all. The Chronosphere is going to come out onto the OD. OD is going to fall, but they've already lost 2 heroes, and now they're looking for KU. KU is going to fall. The RP comes out, but it is just to secure the retreat of League of Legends, and that's not even going to be successful. Oh, he gets a skewer, but they are in front of him. And they're looking to high five, but Magnus, he does not want to high five. He wants to lay on the ground and die. And
there it is.
Yeah.
This is why I'm the analyst, obviously, right? XD. It's so hard. They as weird as it, they kind of lack damage on the Burnsiders, right? They have to get kills around using their usage of spells, right? Whether it's Chrono, Ravage, RP, right? They have to kill a hero off of those. While Black Ice, they have no such restrictions. Yeah, maybe fine, but like Tusk, they do so much damage with their heroes just off of their base functionality.
Now they also took Roche. Notorious is gonna fall as well. They find the Nightmare onto the Pugna. There's gonna be another banishment, and oh, Aaron, he is a speedy boy usually, but with the Venomous Scale, he's gonna fall.
I mean, the Sags came out, right? The game just shifted completely. Vinny, what are you doing here?
He overstayed his welcome a long time, and it's gonna fall as well. And suddenly that lead that was nearly 5,000 gold lead is now to a less than 1,000.
Aegis on the Spectre. He is now top net worth. So despite everything that we've said about this Void, right? He's been top net worth. He's had Empower. He's not top net worth anymore. He's being out farmed by the Spectre. It's, well, I say that, but they're still tied. So
yeah. But like right now, it feels like the value of the Spectre with that farm is a little bit more, as long as Faceless Void doesn't have Chrono. They find a little pick off here on the Tusk. Always nice.
Yeah, it actually makes me a little. I'm a little curious as to if Notorious made the right choice to commit for this MKB build on the Wind, because it does seem like he is their only low CD control. So if you could start these fights with a shackle onto 1 or 2 heroes, I feel like maybe the dynamic of this game changes.
Yeah. And like I think the big thing is like we still see like OD, if he gets chronoed, he can die pretty quickly, and that's like the point of like, can you get that lockdown, and how can you get that lockdown?
Yeah, it's just really hard though, because if he chronos the OD, he has to chrono the OD, right? Because of the astral save. But he just died to the other heroes after the chrono. So it's like it doesn't go both ways. So yes, the OD counter, like the Void has to counter the OD, but the OD can still die and Radiant can win fights. Whereas it doesn't go the other way. So we can see they're looking to posture here. They've got.
Oh, Dado is just gonna go straight for Notorious here. Now gonna throw out the Poison Nova. I believe Notorious is dead. There's gonna get Snowball. Ravage gonna be committed onto this Venomancer. Dado has another save, and now the save from the OD. They are not gonna get anything for the Ravage.
Oh, this OD hero actually just makes Tide's game absolutely miserable. If you don't kill the OD, your Tide will just inevitably die to the OD. Just how it goes.
He now has a Blink Dagger, so it's even easier for Rumcheck.
I also just have to hard question Vinny's build in this game. This treads Vlad's
into an Aghanim Scepter.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, I feel like a Pipe Halberd could have so much more utility. Storboko. Okay, that was a nice snowball.
He got skewered in and snowballed out. That was very funny.
Yeah, and now they have caught the Void with...
Oh, they caught the... Yeah, they caught the Void!
And this is the scary part. Because now you're playing against Bane with low map control. So if you're ever showing, you're liable to just getting gripped and killed. Whereas before, when they were behind, he couldn't do the same thing. But now he has so much space on the map to find stuff. Mid?
Oh, in mid. They're gonna try to go on the Tusk here. The Shackle Shot does connect. He has a Snowball, but it's not gonna be too far away. Oh, he has a Blink Dagger. He's actually, he's actually gonna get away.
They thought he was going onto the Tide because the Cardi died. So like he was still snowballed into the Cardi, but the Cardi had died, so they couldn't see where he was going anymore. So, but yeah, so Dato, I love his itemization, right? You compare it to that of Vinny, and I think it's night and day, right? He has 3 sustain items versus a very all-in lineup. Right? If they survive the all-in attempt from Burnsiders, fight's easy.
Yeah.
And he itemizes directly to do that. He's got Spirit Vessel, he's got the Pipe, he's got the mech.
Spectre's getting close to a Skadi.
Yeah, they're really just tanking up. They're tanking up. There's a BKB on Rom JK as well.
Now they are gonna find Vinny here. He did try to D-ward. There's going to be a nether ward around it.
Still a little hard to commit onto the Tide Hunter, but if he's ever isolated, he'll die.
KU has the Chronosphere. It looks like Portland Burnside is looking to go for something here.
Yeah, the problem is that they're doing such a great job of playing around these plague wards, like we talked about, right? This vision advantage. The Tide Hunter needs to go in front. But he has 300 movement speed when he's affected by Poison Sting.
Yeah, it is. It's very hard. Like, as soon as you lost control of this high ground, like Dado, he's just... Now they're just going to go in with the Haunt, going straight for the Pugna. And Rumjack, he's going to go in with the BKB. He's going to get Chronosphere, though, with the Focus Fire. It's going to get taken out. Now the Ravage is going to be committed as the Chronosphere ends. They're looking to finish off this Spectre. Mirage still pretty strong here. It's dealing a ton of damage. KU is just dying. And Spectre is doing it. And Dado now also, the Poison Nova has commented on a lot of heroes. Now Mirage back in here, looking to take out Vinny. But it is only him now. Can he get out? No, the Shackle Shot will be there. Oh, Notorious?
He's fine. Yeah. Ah, that was so strange. The decision from the OD, he blinks into the backlines with his BKB. And when you do that, you're essentially screaming at the enemy. He's just screaming, "Chrono me! Chrono me!" And he got chronoed, and then his whole team died. with him. So that was really bizarre. And a lot of that comes back to Aaron got the decrep off. So they actually couldn't burst the Pugna.
I feel like Black Eyes Esports got maybe a little bit antsy. And like you mentioned, like OD jumped forward. And also in the Chronosphere was the Spectre. So the Spectre was not able to do like damage while not being in Chronosphere. She was also affected by that, not being able to do anything. However, it is now a BKB on the OD. They did commit Haunt. Oh, a little toss here. But they might be looking to go for another play once that Spectre is up.
But I'm not maceless.
Yeah, you said it seemed antsy. I doubled down on that because their Aegis had like just I guess it hadn't just expired. It's been down. Yeah, they didn't have Aegis anymore. That's the big thing, and they went for that play.
Yeah, it expired like 2 minutes before, or like 1 minute, something like that.
Yeah,
it
just feels,
they retreated.
It just feels like the only way Burnsiders can win a fight is if they get a multi-man chrono with OD in it. And every fight we've seen them, I mean, I guess that's the only fight we've really seen them win, but OD has died and KU caught the OD +1 in like almost every chrono.
Now there's gonna be the smoke up from the Radiant. They see Vinny here. Oh! Try to go for the neutral item snipe. They find the Tidehunter. Tidehunter doesn't have Ravage for another half a minute. Vinny is dead. Is Tidehunter supposed to be tanky?
Yeah. Tag team plus Arcane Orb plus a Vessel. On top of that, there's actually there's a really cool interaction to keep in mind in this game with the Enfeeble, because it gives magic resistance reduction.
Oh.
So that means they will. So this Sanity's Eclipse plus the Veno magic damage, the tag team magic damage, it all does a lot more damage than it would appear if that gets put on him.
Yeah, like, huh. And that makes even more of like they don't have a pipe, they don't have anything to negate that magic damage. Oh no, the underrated genius, he has been found. He is gonna put himself in a nightmare.
I don't really know what he's doing here. His team is on the other side of the map. He's dead.
That's why he's an underrated genius.
I guess. Because we just don't understand him. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we don't understand him.
Okay, I see.
We can only truly appreciate his genius after he died.
It actually makes so much sense. So thank you. To be fair, I still don't really appreciate it. I'm still confused. So I guess we need a little more time.
Now, actually, they're gonna go for a quick Roshan with the DD, Manta style, and the tag team. They're taking this Roshan extremely quick, and I don't think Dire is aware of it.
You forgot a key component in that Desolate affects Rosh.
Yeah, the Manta style illusions with the Desolate.
It's with the Spectre patch that we're in right now, when you get this Manta timing, it's almost always a Rosh opportunity, because max Desolate plus Manta does so much damage. On top of that, you have tag team, and despite all the team fight that Dire has, if Radiant is set up with Plague Wards in an area, I still favor Radiant in fights, right? Like if they are set up, Plague Wards down, it's almost impossible for the Burnsiders to walk into them.
We didn't talk about this item, but Spectre has a diffusal. When did she pick that up?
She got it after her Manta, I believe. I clicked on her and I clicked on him and he had Manta diffusal. I didn't really talk about it.
Okay,
but,
yeah. Okay, I must have just missed the diffusal, but yeah. Now also with the Titan Sliver, we saw in the previous fight, even though like it was a beautiful Chronosphere and they won that fight in the end, but they struggled to kill off Mirage, and the dispersion was slowly and surely bringing him down. And now with the Titan Sliver and Aegis, it is not getting easier.
Well, I think the diffusal is also helping to compensate for their lack of reliable disable. If you get diffusaled with like Poison Sting on you, you just can't move pretty much. The mana burn's also very nice. You know, you look at Void as a hero. He's got a 600 mana pool. So he's very susceptible to just like running out of mana in fights because of the Diffusal Blade.
He is gonna be smoked up now, but it is just the Faceless Void.
They do not want to go on this guy that's showing right now. That's like the last person to go on.
Yeah. They might find
this
Bane here.
This is the second worst target.
They didn't find him at least.
They might still fight. Yeah, Mirage found the Magnus.
They find the Magnus at the same time here. Magnus is gonna go down. And now Dato, he's like, yo, come at me. I'm here. I'm ready to fight. And KU, he just has to walk out of here.
They're like, go on the Veno. I dare you.
Now there's going to be the Haunt forward. They're looking for KU. He has another Time Walk forward. There's going to be the Glimmer Cape. The Glimmer Cape for Mirage is now looking for Vinny. Vinny's taking so much damage. It's going to be
that Glimmer was sick. He dodged the Shackle because of it, but... I don't like Spectre's decision to go for Basher. I actually think if he goes Nullifier, he can just kill the Pugna. It's because right now they're running. They're running into this issue where they have to right-click units to kill them, and their targets are just getting decrept, so they can no longer right-click.
Now, let's talk a little bit about talents here. Venomancer has hit level 20, not 12. He has now the Poison Nova duration, so it's a ton of damage.
Yep, even more magic damage. That seems to be the theme, right?
Yeah.
There is a big item pickup. Sorry to ruin your talent discussion, but Aaron has a sheep stick.
Oh, yeah.
So that gives them a reliable form of lockdown that is not their ultimates.
Take a look at what Tusk is going for.
Ags? Yeah, makes sense. He wants to either kick the Pugna into the fights or kick the Tidehunter out of fights. Because the Tide right now wants to be the...
It's going to be the smoke from the Dire. They might find Tusk here. That's going to be the Snowball. Dato is going to be hexed up. It's going to get gripped, though. Do they have any...
Oh, look at the positioning!
Oh, there's going to be the Skewer. Now the Poison Nova connects onto KU. They've already lost the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger is going to buy back the Aeon. This is going to get triggered from Dato. They're looking to take out this Nether Ward here, and OD, he's just gonna be too slippery for KU to Chronosphere. Now Chronosphere connecting onto 3, takes out the Venomancer. Is it gonna be enough damage? The Focus Fire connects onto the OD. There's still the Nether Ward here. They have not been able to take it down. They're looking for Aaron. Aaron again with the Decrepify and Life Drain is gonna finish the life of the Tusk. OD is gonna looking to just run away here, gets another banishment onto the Wind Range. He still has the Sanity's Eclipse.
Spectre still has Aegis.
Yeah, if Spectre dies, she now has the mana for Haunt if they want to try to re-engage.
I mean, again, these fights are so close. He got a nice chrono off. KU did, and Ramchike was actually in a weird spot because he was like on the high ground. He had to force himself down, and the chrono was like back here. And then the Wind Ranger has a Mind Breaker, and it interrupted the Astral animation. So KU got an extra like 2 seconds of hitting people, and in that time he was able to take down the Venomancer.
Yeah. Now also a Ninja Gear for the Faceless Void. That is a great item for him.
Spell Prism and Prince's Knife, 2 very nice items for this game.
Oh, Spell Prism for the OD. Ooh.
Yeah, they're gonna look for this Faceless Void, it looks like.
They're looking for him. Oh, they see him here. He is gonna have a Time Walk. It's gonna be the 4-step forward. KU has the BKB. And with that, will be saved.
Alright, BKB down for 60 seconds. They look like they want to fight.
They see the Bane here. Now the Haunt is going to come out to save from the OD. They're going straight for KU. KU is just dead. Goodbye, Faceless Void. They also find this Tidehunter here. Notorious is going to get the TP out. But KU, he committed the Time Walk and immediately Radiant was just like, we kill him.
that was textbook, right? That's just textbook. Force the BKB out of the core. You force a fight right after his BKB is down, and I don't know how he's supposed to play fights without his BKB now, right? There's just so many saves. There's so much slow and sustain. Like, you have to kill a hero in your BKB at this point, it feels like. But I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
So
and now they're going to go high ground. Tidehunter's still dead. Tidehunter still has Ravage. They're gonna have Chronosphere up once Faceless Void is alive, but that will be in half a minute.
We did see a problem that Vinny has had in these.
Oh, that's gonna go jump in. They're looking to take out this Netherward here. A nice RP from League of Legends, but where is the damage? There's a focus fire onto the OD, but that will not be enough. Windranger is just gonna be imprisoned. There's another imprisonment, and OD is just gonna walk away and say, "Cool guys, don't look at explosions."
Haha, fun and interactive hero, get astraled. Haha, you're in the Nether. Have fun.
Goodbye. There's gonna be the buyback from Aaron and League of Legends. They've lost the tier 3. Vinny is here.
I think these buybacks were early. I guess Void has respawned now, but it looked like they wanted to fight with Void respawn with Chrono, and just they went too early.
And Venomancer is just walking forward here, while the rest of his team is walking back. What?
I mean, he's got A on disc.
Oh yeah, they're gonna jump in with the Tusky. The Poison Nova is gonna come out now. The Snowball is Radiant looking to re-engage. They are slowly approaching here. Venomancer is still going to survive. Tusk is gonna die. Venomancer is going to die. Now Underrated Genius is gonna get focus fight. The Chronosphere misses. Oh no.
Holy fuck. That was a puck clencher. I'm clenched. Oh, that was really strange. I mean, Dado and Steel Borko kind of just like threw their bodies to the wolves.
Wait, oh,
okay.
I guess now the Haunt, they get the kill onto Pugna and Mirage.
What is happening? Where is he going? Okay. Oh, they found
Faceless
his
Void.
BKB.
He has BKB, but he doesn't have Chronosphere. Boom! A goodbye, Windranger. KU is gonna get bashed up. Has a time walk. He's still looking forward. Oh, the BKB has run out, and you know what that means. OD hits hard now. And Mirage still looking for more. Another time walk. Can they get KU out of here? Blink forward. Another time walk. He'll be fine.
Yeah. You can see the problem. Like, how does he kill a hero without Chrono or his BKB? He's actually kind of just a creep. Because this Ravage and RP have felt largely nullified in this game just by the presence of the OD as well as the Plague Wards. It feels like they can never get a good position for these spells.
Yeah.
And so now we're back to where we were about 2 minutes ago. Radiant's on the high ground.
This time, Portland Burnsiders don't have 3 heroes, and all 3 of them are on dieback, so they know that they can't buy back.
Yeah, look at what KU's doing.
Oh.
Let's take a quick gander. This is what we call an EE play, where if you get caught here, you die, the game's over. But if you get away with it, it gives you some sort of chance of, playing. Looks like he's gonna get away with it too.
Yeah, that is a refresher shard.
Yeah, this is actually really huge.
And
refresher
with that, yeah, they're gonna be able to fight with the Pugna up. So yeah, he's gonna have all of the things. Oh, he doesn't pick up the bounty room. Come on, man, give your support some love.
He also left a DD for whatever that's worth. But now he's got refresher chrono in 30 seconds with Aegis. So now KU can actually like frontline and like stand in front. Well, yeah.
He also has a backtrack talent from level 25.
Yeah, I mean he's really doing his best to try and 1v9 this game. I'll give him some credit for that. But this game is looking really rough still.
They gave refresher shard to the Tidehunter now, by the way.
I actually, KU doesn't have the mana to cast double chrono.
Oh yeah.
If he wants to have any semblance of mana after it.
Yeah. Well, maybe with the Skadi he would have it, but yeah. So 2 sets of racks. Well, a set and a half. The melee rack still standing in the mid.
Yeah, I wanted to point out something that's been happening in these fights in that without Vinny not having a Ghost Scepter or a BKB, every fight so far, Ram JK on the OD has pressed his BKB and just 3-shot the OD. Or 3-shot the Tidehunter every fight so far. So Vinny, okay, he bought a gem, but I'm very concerned because he has no way of surviving through this Tidehunter.
There's gonna be the smoke up from Radiant. They have a newly acquired Scythe of Vice on the OD, also a Hurricane Pike. And they are gonna go straight with the Haunt in. The Chronosphere only onto an Astral Imprisonment target, and now the Hex onto the Faceless Void. He can get absolutely nothing with that. Now the Ravage is gonna come out, hits on the multiple heroes. Rom Jake is gonna be stunned up and is gonna fall, but they've already lost the Magus. Now the Grip is gonna come out onto the Pugna. Pugna is gonna fall. Tidehunter is gonna fall to the Spectre as well. At the same time, they lose the Venomancer. Notorious. He is gonna have an invis with the smoke. And KU, however, is gonna get gone on. He has an Aegis, but he cannot man-fight Mirage.
Gorko?
He is gonna still try to man-fight here. Wait.
Tusk just died back here to the wind. He tried to, the wind got kicked away with like 10 HP, and then Borko tried to chase him, and he got shackled.
Oh no. Mirage
so
still in base though.
That was double chrono, though. He sorry, he doesn't have the refresher shard.
Yeah.
They didn't get the other Ravage off actually. He used the refresher shard, but it didn't get it off. So that's really, really bad because they had the opportunity to have double chrono or double Ravage, and so whiffing, not getting to use either of them, hurts a lot.
Underrated Genius is gonna Nightmare himself. It's gonna die.
Not KU, Notorious is owning on this win. You can see in these engagements, him and OD, man, I keep saying the wrong hero. Him and Void are kind of just the OD hunters. He's got BKB now on Notorious, so he can just BKB commit onto this OD with pretty much zero repercussions. And so it puts them in a weird spot for Radiant because they need to, it feels like they need to protect their OD. But in that fight, he was kind of just, he was the only one protecting him. He was protecting himself. And he did great for the first part, right? But then eventually
it just became too
eventually you're gonna get caught, which is
Notorious finds the shackle shot onto the Spectre, but he's just killing himself with the focus fire.
He actually took more damage from Dispersion than Mirage took. What a hero, man. He's got the talent, the 25 talent, the Dispersion talent. What a hero, man.
I'm stunned and you take more damage than I do. Now that's gameplay.
That's interactive gameplay right there.
Oh, he might find the Venomancer or the OD. Oh, the Shackle Shot with the Hex onto the Venomancer. They have the Life Drain. The save from the OD. OD is gonna get Chronosphered and Focus Fired. Now the Abyssal Blade coming onto the Wind Ranger. Wind Ranger is gonna be gripped up here, but it's gonna be healed by the puck now. OD is still alive somehow throughout all of this, and now the Hex onto KU. KU is gonna lose his Aegis, and OD is still alive. League of Legends is gonna fall now. Another save. KU cannot finish off this OD, and he's just gonna save himself some more. Now the sleep onto the Tidehunter. He says you should rest a little bit. You seem a little bit exhausted, Vinny. Now they're just gonna uppercut and goodbye.
That was
How did OD survive?
All right. Let me list off the things that happened. Okay, so there was a Nightmare save from Underrated Genius. He got the Nightmare off onto the OD. There was a Abyssal onto the Wind Ranger to keep him from hitting, and then after the Abyssal, they gripped the Wind on top of it, so there is the only one that was hitting him was the Void, and he just barely managed to get his Astral off after the Chrono.
Yeah, and
on top, right there, still he's hitting through the grease, through the pipe, through everything. It all came together in that moment to keep him alive. Holy shit.
They took not a single hero down.
They threw the kitchen sink at the OD, if he doesn't die, if he dies there, maybe they win the fight. But oh my gosh.
The Plague Wards now also have 2.6 times HP and damage, so it's even more annoying to playing into Venomancer. And they're gonna take Megas.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's the kind of fight that decides the game, right? You commit
Yeah.
everything onto this hero. You don't kill him.
Oh,
And,
Faceless
yeah.
Void has a Divine Rapier. He's gonna be gripped. Gets the 4 stuff away. Glimmer Cape is there. They have Dust. They're
Where's
gonna
the
try to keep
cancel?
him alive. And he is just dead. The Divine Rapier is on the ground now. And now Mirage. No, Notorious is the one to pick it up. He of course can't use it, but he
No
can put
buyback
it
on
down
Void,
for
though.
the Faceless Void. Notorious. Boop. And it's gonna fall as well. Now the Divine Rapier in the hands of Mirage, and he's just looking to finish off this game. And GG has been called. And Black Ice Esports, they take the game.
God, that was what a hell of a game, really.
Yeah.
Both teams 100% had the chance to win that game, but in the end, Black Ice, and they were slightly more prepared to go late game than the Burnsiders were in that game, it seemed like. And I really questioned this Bane pick, and it didn't seem great in the lane, but he owned in those later fights. He had multiple uncanceled grips, the sleep on the OD in that chrono as well. As everybody seemed everybody seemed more on the same page on Black Ice, right? The team items, everybody playing around each other, and Burnsiders, it felt like they were like, yeah, KU will win this game for us, right? Right? Right?
Right?
And it's just, yeah, it's just such a hard Void game to kill people, and you can see that not able to do so.
And with that, this game 1 is over. But of course, it is the best of 2. Portland Burnsiders have the chance to hit back. Are there any like quick notes that you would say, like just change that just to have an easier time?
I don't know. I thought Burnsiders had a good draft. I think they got outplayed and out executed in the end. So nothing immediate. We can talk more about it though.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it in game 2. Stay tuned. We will be back with game number 2.
Damn.